My name is Michael Reid. I'm the president and serve on the LTC Board of Directors. And at this time, I'll call us to order. As this event approaches every year, it allows me the opportunity to really stop and reflect on the value that LTC provides to the community. We allow residents to tune into local government and events within the city, all the more important this year with the pandemic, whether it be via cable or online streaming. Equally important is the ability of our members to produce content that continues to be broadcasted globally. We welcome anyone to wish to share their ideas, opinions, and creative programming. To everyone joining virtually tonight, our member producers, our partners within city government, the entire LTC team, and my fellow board directors, thank you all so much for your contributions to LTC's success. And a special thanks to our executive director, Wendy Blom. She has worked tirelessly for LTC's mission for the past 5 years as executive director and has dedicated the past 25 years to the public access community. Wendy's decided to retire at the end of this year. And on behalf of the board, thank you so much for all your contributions over the years. You'll be very missed. And I'd also like to personally thank LTC's treasurer, Brendan Flynn, for his work keeping an eye on our financials and tracking performance to budget over the past 3 years. This is Brendan's last year on the board, and I wish him well. And you'll hear more from Wendy and Brendan later in the program. And I've had the pleasure of serving on the board for 9 years, and this is the last year of my current 3-year term. I will be stepping down at year end as chair and director, but I am so confident in the current board. We had several new directors join us this year with strong enthusiasm, experience, and vision for LTC's future, and I strongly believe that they're poised to tackle the challenges of tomorrow. So with that, I'd like to pass it off to Wendy.
Okay. Thanks, Michael. I'm very pleased to be able to introduce a couple of speakers tonight. City Manager Eileen Donoghue is here with us, and we're so pleased. She has been such a strong supporter of LTC over her many years in Lowell government as City Councillor, Mayor, State Senator, and now Manager. We have really appreciated her support over the years. Manager?
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Wendy, and thank you for inviting me here tonight to join you in your annual meeting. I miss the in-person one. What I always remember is just this amazing array of food in the side room, which was always just delightful. But nonetheless, I'm still very happy to be here in Zoom and to celebrate, another successful year of Lowell Telecommunications, albeit under circumstances none of us could have imagined at last year's annual meeting. I just want to speak a little bit of the crisis. I know Councillor Nuon has mentioned it earlier, and this COVID-19 crisis has tested the strength and the tenacity of the entire Lowell community on so many fronts, and it really has impacted virtually all aspects of our daily lives. And it has imposed unforeseen challenges. I think that has forced us all to adapt to the way we think and how we conduct business. But despite all the hardship we have confronted over the recent months, we've also been fortunate to have remarkable examples of resiliency and across the community and of organizations rising up to meet these evolving needs of our city and our residents. And so it is with very little surprise that through this tumultuous period, LTC has remained at the forefront of our community and has found methods to continue to provide the vital services that our community depends on. LTC's objective always has been to connect and to inform Lowell residents and organizations. And under the best of circumstances, this is tough work. But now in the pandemic, it's even more challenging. By taking an innovative approach, LTC has really oftentimes created a way of communicating throughout these difficult times on very critical topics and also has maintained our sense of community. And I think that's one of the most important things that you've done both before, but certainly during the pandemic. And you've also been a great partner to the city throughout this. You know, when what seemed like at the drop of a hat, the city council meetings immediately pivoted to being remote and on Zoom, LTC didn't miss a beat on that and quickly implemented a solution to ensure that there was no lapse in coverage. And you know, when you think about it, under the governor's order as far as having open meetings, you didn't have to have it broadcast on LTC, although that's something the community would have wanted and really appreciated, especially when people are you know, at home in a lockdown mode. And LTC, as I said, didn't hesitate and just jumped into action and provided that coverage. And it provided a critical channel for us to communicate messages at such an important time to the community, not just the status of the pandemic locally, but also on timely health, public health advisories. So there's just so much that LTC did during this period that we are deeply grateful for. And on behalf of the city, I just want to express that gratitude because you've done so much to tailor your operations in response to the pandemic. And it's a credit to LTC's hardworking staff and certainly a credit to a very forward-looking executive director. You know, this brings me, and I'm sure there will be many others tonight that will echo these sentiments, but I wanted to express my sincere appreciation to Wendy for all she has done for this organization and by extension for the entire city of Lowell during her time as executive director. Wendy has been a dynamic force for progress during her tenure and has positioned the organization for success even after her departure. And though we are not pleased to see her depart because she's just been a terrific partner, we do want to wish Wendy the best of luck in her retirement. Well earned. There are certainly tough times ahead for the city of Lowell and for all of us. We are in the midst of our second surge of COVID-19 cases, as we were discussing earlier. And in the past 14 days alone, we have seen 1,133 cases here in the city of Lowell. That is the highest volume we've recorded since the spring. And all indications reflect that the cases will continue to climb over the weeks ahead across this entire region. And so while the status of the virus is cause for trepidation, there have been positive developments in the city from which we can derive hope for the future. Significant progress is being achieved in the Hamilton Canal Innovation District. The garage is nearing completion any day, and that's going to clear the way for subsequent development in the Hamilton Canal Innovation District. And other important projects like the Lord Overpass are taking form before our eyes. And as anyone who has driven down Arcan Drive in the past couple of weeks, you may have noticed construction on the new Lowell High School has begun at 75 Arcan Drive. So from the city's perspective, it gives us confidence to know that through thick and thin, Lowell Telecommunications will continue to be by the city's side and will continue to serve as an invaluable partner. And we seek to create an empowered and informed community. So thank you, Wendy, for everything you have done. Thank you to your entire board. It means so much to our community, and I mean that sincerely, every aspect, not just government, but so many community organizations. You are a lifeline to so many, and we deeply appreciate all that you do for us here in the city of Lowell. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm going to get all cheery, but I can't. Thank you. And now our next speaker is Vesna Nuon. He is the board's representative to the City Council, and he's also a really strong advocate of LTC, and he's been such a great addition to the board, and we're so glad he's here tonight to speak to us.
Well, let me first start to thank the leadership on the board, Michael and his leadership team, Brandon, Sue, and Lynn, and others, of course, have really a big part in terms of, help lead LTC. And of course, without the work of Wendy, as the manager alluded to, the forward-looking approach and the social justice issues and all that, she have done all. And so the City of Low is very fortunate to have LTC as a communication partner. LTC provide the bridge of communication between the city, university, community college, the local businesses, and the community. LTC online program, as mentioned by the managers, is reach out with new and information for Llewellyn, such as help for small businesses during this COVID-19. Organizations such as the Asian Task Force Against Domestic Violence, the Center of Hope and Healing Center, the Mill City Growth, the Merrimack Valley Housing Partnership, and much more. In October, this past October, LTC presented the City of Low, the Low City of Learning Festival virtually, with video about many things from dance to science. It showcased Low as an educational hub. The Low Shopping Network will be aired, and that's part to do with the small businesses during the COVID. The Low Shopping Network will be aired on, I believe, November 21 to 22nd. Feature short video created by Low businesses. And that's a great help, really, to the small businesses that really struggle because of COVID. And of course, LTC broadcasts the meeting of the City Council, the school committee, and along with various city board and commission, including the City Council subcommittee. They're currently looking, of course, they're currently looking to hire Spanish and Khmer interpreter for the City Council meeting, which certainly will bring our government closer to more of our citizens. Wendy said I'm a big advocate for the LTC. LTC is an ambassador who bring the communities and the city together. And without LTC, it's hard to get those information. You have a lot of producers listen now from various community, African community, Cambodian American community, Laotian community, Hispanic community, Portuguese community, and so many others who volunteer their time with the help of LTC to provide them space, time, so that they can reach out to the community. That's important. Therefore, I'm really honored that LTC is part of the very core of our city, what you call like motto, like Low is a lot to like about Low, and that's what LTC is. So I'm glad that I was asked to be a representative from the council, and going forward, and even now and going forward, I will do what I can to advocate for LTC. Without LTC, you can't reach all those organizations. You cannot reach the community. The board of director and the leadership of Michael, and the staff of LTC and the leadership of Wendy, I thank you very much. Thank you for all those producers who volunteer their time to reach out to their community and update them of what's going on in the City of Low. Thank you. Have a good night.
And before we move on to the treasurer's report, I just wanted to mention that our new state representative is here, Vesna Howard. And we appreciate her presence. And now, Brendan.
Thank you, Wendy. Good evening, everyone. Some tough shoes to fill there for sure. Again, my name's Brendan Flynn. I've been the treasurer for the past 3 years on the board. And with my term coming to an end, I wanted to just take the opportunity to say it's been just a privilege to serve on the board, to serve as your treasurer, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that was given to me to be able to do this. I've enjoyed it immensely, and I wish nothing but the best for LTC going forward. I'm going to say thank you a lot tonight. Wendy makes the job, or makes my job in particular, very, very easy. Her and her staff do just an outstanding job of managing the finances for LTC year over year. And this year being as extraordinary and as challenging as it is, they've done just a remarkable job. So again, kudos to Wendy and her staff for doing that. As we know, the impact of COVID-19 required some really imaginative thinking from us, LTC, on how to adapt to, but continue to deliver the high quality programming that the cities come to rely on and become accustomed to for so long. And they did a remarkable job in sort of pivoting on that, taking up those challenges, tackling them quickly and efficiently, and all at the same time doing it without really spending a whole lot of money to get it done. And for that, I am grateful. So with that as a backdrop, I'm happy to share that we finished the year in a very good financial position. Although our revenues were slightly less than last year, they exceeded our expectations, which is great. And a lot of that is due to public support, direct public support, which I think is fantastic, just kind of given how the year has gone. So overall, a good year for revenue, given a very, very challenging time. Additionally, with our expenses, they came in under budget for the year, and they were much lower than last year's numbers, which is also a testament to Wendy and their staff for making really smart choices during a very trying time. I'm also happy to share that our audit for 2020 was just completed last month. And once again, LTC received a clean opinion. So for anyone that sort of understands what that means, it's the gold standard that you look for, that any company wants to get from their auditing service. So with Wendy and Nary and the rest of the finance group that sort of made that happen, I can say nothing but thank you and congratulations for an outstanding outcome. So I'll wrap up just by saying thank you to the staff, to the membership, to the board, everyone here that welcomed me 3 years ago and made it a very easy transition for me to learn the ropes and get involved. Without your hard work and dedication, things wouldn't happen the way that they do. You're the driving force behind LTC, and we wouldn't be here without you and your tireless support. So thank you very much.
Thank you. That's very nice. So sad to lose the face-to-face interactions and the potluck dinner and the opportunities to meet new people that we usually have. But I don't want to focus on what we don't have, but on all the things we do have. This is my last annual meeting after 25 years in the industry. There have been so many changes in public access technology over those years, but the mission has remained constant. From the time I found Public Access TV in 1995, I have loved its mission of free speech for the people. Loving a mission is one thing, but when you're given the resources and an organization to actualize a mission you care about, you have found a very precious life path, and I feel so fortunate to have found work that is also my calling. And I learned a lot in my first full-time job in public access at LTC under the leadership of its first director, George Preston. Some of you probably know him. His goal was to keep expanding access to communication tools, especially to individuals and groups that are underrepresented in mainstream media. The vision is of access as an electronic soapbox in the town square. Also, to hire great staff and let them shine. In those early years at LTC, my job was to help the recently arrived Cambodian community and local nonprofits learn media skills to get their programs on the channels. Well, I carried this emphasis on active outreach to expand access throughout my career in Boston, Somerville, and back again at LTC. We adjusted to changes in how media is consumed while continuing to grow LTC's impact in the community through social media platforms, LTC News, and closed captions on city meetings. We work to increase the diversity of members and programs with language translations and outreach to more multicultural nonprofits. But the work is not done. Lowell is such a diverse city, and we need to hear the points of view of Lowell African Americans, Latinx, South Asians, and African communities. Political speech is welcome too. Beyond hearing from a diversity of voices, LTC is moving towards a more diverse leadership through thoughtful board recruitment. On the municipal side, we've tried to be very responsive to City Hall's requests for meeting and event coverage, keeping local government as transparent as possible. I believe that LTC's relationship with the manager's office and the council has never been stronger. Looking forward, my hope and expectation is that all this important work will continue under your new director. One thing going for the new leader is that he, she, they will have excellent staff that's committed to the work. A shout out here to Shumita Charya, Director of Community Programs. Shumita was elected to the National Board of the Alliance for Community Media this fall, which is a big honor. Her participation there will give LTC inside knowledge of the ACM's advocacy work, and she can help guide the organization with LTC's perspective. Our other great staff are Dan Bazarian, Access Coordinator. Dan was hired in his role about a week before the shutdown, so many of you have not met him in person yet. He keeps Channel 95 running smoothly and produces news segments and does outreach to the nonprofit community. Chris McNeil, Director of Municipal Programs and News Director. Chris makes sure that all city meetings are covered, virtual, in person, and sometimes both at the same time. He also coordinates our news program every 2 weeks and has never missed a deadline. Steve Manick, Facilities Manager. Steve oversees LTC's IT and video equipment and programs Channel 8. Jose Negron is our part-time municipal producer who we rely on every week to cover meetings. Sabrina Peterson, Outreach Coordinator. Sabrina was hired right before the pandemic too. She's used her expertise in online communications to create a very robust social media presence for LTC. And Nari Tiff, Office Administrator. Nari oversees the bookkeeping, membership, and HR records at LTC, and generally keeps an eye on all our operations. It's a really great crew that I have so much enjoyed working with. And I'll just jump in with many more thank yous. That seems to be the theme of tonight. Our member producers who continue to create interesting and informative programs for their communities week after week, pandemic or not. The LTC Board of Directors is a fabulous group of people who keeps us on track. They are, and many of them are here, Jennifer Araja, Jess Donaldson, Brendan Flynn, Sue Kim, Lynn Lupian, Connie Martin, John McDonough, Fru Kimbeng, Elizabeth Knoll, Vesna Nuon, Michael Reid, Pavel Romanico, Eric Sack, Karen Sennett, Charlie Smith, and Luz Vasudevan. The 2 board members stepping down after 2 years of service will be really missed. Brendan Flynn, who is completing his term as treasurer, and I cannot say enough about how great he's been to work with. He's always been there when I needed a check signed or a question answered. Thank you, Brendan. And Michael. Michael Reid has served on the board as treasurer and as president for 9 years. As I told the board when we heard he was leaving that I'm just so appreciative for Michael's dedication to LTC over almost a decade. He's been a clear-headed presence, and his financial expertise has kept LTC on a sound path. He deserves a break from the LTC board now. His work at Enterprise Bank has become more demanding, but he will be missed. I'm really going to miss LTC and the city of Lowell. Thank you all for making my time here so very rewarding. So, moving on, I think that's the end of our meeting portion. So now we can get to our award ceremony. Everything, what we've all been waiting for. So roll tape.
It'll just take me one moment. I'm going to share my screen and then we'll see the video.
Okay. Okay, so thank you to all the winners. The first award goes to the CMAA, and I believe Savannah Poov is here. And all the winners tonight will get awards. So they have to stop by LTC at some point in the next few weeks to pick up their awards. But the Community Spirit Award goes to the CMAA. This organization uses LTC to communicate with Cambodian viewers, to give them important civic and health information, and promote Cambodian culture. The CMAA was very active in the Lowell Counts census campaign, in Get Out the Vote efforts, and in facilitating access to city resources. Their staff translates city documents into Khmer, and they're a vital partner in many other civic engagement projects. Lowell will definitely not function nearly so well without the dedicated work of LTC member organization, the Cambodian Mutual Assistance Association.
Yeah, Wendy, first of all, congratulations to you and your commitment to local access TV and providing that opportunity for people's voices to be heard. So thank you so much to you and your staff and your board as well. Thank you everybody for rewarding CMAA for this opportunity. I'm not the one that should be receiving this award. My team and staff have done an amazing job making sure that whatever information we get is immediately brought to our community in the most immediate and accessible way. CMAA is an organization that has been around for a long time, and we continue and will continue to be here for a while. And with that being said, I just want to make sure that I want to thank all the staff and board members that were able to join this evening as well. I was counting screens and I saw like 6-7 people. So thank you all for joining us this evening. But also want to congratulate all the other winners of the other awards as well. CMA is part of Lowell, is part of Greater Lowell. We will be here for a while, and we will continue to fight for what is right for everybody, but also continue to be the voices for everyone as well. So thank you so much, Akon. Thank you, Wendy and LTC.
Thank you. The next award will be presented by Sabrina.
So the LTC Spirit Award goes to Alan Balerjan. Alan has proven himself time and again as a hardworking volunteer during our live productions and as a consistent producer with his highly successful New Year's podcast, bringing a really unique local voice to the world of progressive rock commentary. So Alan was one of the first members to come back into our studios, and we feel that this tenacity and the desire to have his perspective be heard, it really aligns with our mission of enabling, supporting, and fostering those voices.
Next presenter, Shumita.
I will be presenting Jim Wild. So the Spirit Award and the Community Spirit Award, that the main reason is the organization, Merrimack Valley Housing Partnership. When it started, and Jim, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you have done more than 18,200 trainings so far on the first-time home buyer training. And the best thing, Jim, Ted, and Kathy, the team, so amazing, so much leadership and team that you learn from them, and their love and passion for taking care of Lowell and its diverse community. And they make, an immigrant's dream come true, providing they help them to buy a house and then make them home. I know it, I'm an immigrant, I know how it feels when you come from some other country, work hard, and then make this your own home, own community, own place. And then when you buy a house, it's an amazing feeling. And they teach that everybody can do it with the right discipline, right practices and knowledge. And they teach that. So I'm very honored to know Jim. He is my neighbor, one of the best downtown activists I know, who takes care of the whole downtown, cleans, organizes, active volunteer for all the folk festivals. He loves traveling. So here comes Jim. Thank you so much for working with us, supporting us, LTC, and even in pandemic, their work didn't stop. They supported us with their production work. We made videos together, learned so much, and they are still teaching. So thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thanks very much, Sumita. It was such a pleasure working with you on this project. We did the smart home buying series, and it wasn't my idea. It was Kathy Mercado's idea. She came back to the office and said, we really should make videos. And it was so serendipitous because, during the pandemic, when we've switched to everything virtual, they have been enormously useful. So anyhow, the staff was awesome. Sumita was really great. Chris McNeil was really helpful. And Dan Bazarian was a big help when it came time to make the videos and put them on a YouTube channel and all of that. So we did 14 videos. They were really nicely produced. And we were able to bring in, home buyers, all the professionals that help teach our classes, lenders, attorneys, home inspectors, real estate brokers, the people we collaborate with, like CMAA, the handsome guy with all the hair, Savannah. He's actually in one of the videos. It was a top-selling video, I might add. But anyhow, it was really a pleasure. And LTC is such an incredible asset to the city of Lowell. I mean, having it, when the pandemic hit, in addition to the smart home buying series that we did, as soon as the pandemic hit, Sumita was unbelievably helpful. She and I went into the studio and did an hour-and-a-half video on which got us through the first couple of months until we figured out how to switch everything over to Zoom and do that. And since that time, we're actually breaking records this year with the numbers of people going through the classes. We're going to have over 800 families go through our class this year. And Zoom has been enormously successful for us. And but to get us there, we had to we did this video that was so helpful for people. So Sumita was awesome. We socially distanced. This was really early in the pandemics. People were still trying to figure out what was happening, and so it was a pleasure. So thanks so much, and it's nice to be with such an esteemed group of people. And I love you all, and stay safe and happy Thanksgiving.
Yay. Okay, the next award is going to be given by Steve. Hopefully he's here. I don't see him.
So I'm presenting the Channel 8, Best Channel 8 Show of the Year. And this year that's going to Talking Sports with Ronnie and Johnny. Talking Sports with Ronnie and Johnny is exactly what it sounds like. Hosts Ronnie, Perrin, and Johnny Dakota talk about sports. Everything from professional teams to local high school events. From the Patriots to the Lowell High wrestling team. When they first started, they knew exactly what they wanted to do, and despite some initial setbacks, they were able to do it. The show has the most audience participation that I've seen at LTC. Not only do they have guest hosts and in-studio guests, but they also do live call-ins and have live polls through Facebook. This type of audience interaction is unique on Channel 8. And that's why Talking Sports with Ronnie and Johnny has been named the Channel 8 Show of the Year.
Oh, excellent. Well, first of all, I want to say congratulations to you. I know we haven't really been together for that long, but I want to wish you all the best. Couple of things I just want to say. We're kind of the new kids on the block, and it is true what Steve was saying is that our goal was to be able to bring more local attention to the kids in the Lowell area, sports-wise, with still being able to, do some national sports also. So, Johnny and I feel as though we were getting to a nice little rhythm with the show, particularly locally. And before the pandemic hit, and our goal is to be able to, once everything calms down, hopefully crossing our fingers sooner than later, we want to be able to, again, expand the show, hopefully to a 2-hour show and be able to really focus on local sports. So we want to thank LTC for allowing us to start our show, and hopefully in the near future we will be able to expand on it. So thank you for the award. Johnny and I want to thank LTC and everybody else. We want to particularly, thank the people behind the scenes and the people that really drive our show. So LTC, thank you for allowing us the show. And again, we will be expanding the show in the future. So thank you again.
So the Channel 95 Show of the Year award goes to Bori Kem for her show Cambodian Women's Learning Project. Bori also produces the show Cambodian Women's Organization TV, and she's tireless in getting her shows out. She has never missed a week in the entire time I've been programming Channel 95. And when LTC first closed in the spring, she immediately got to work finding the best way to submit her shows remotely to make sure they could get to air even when we weren't in the studio. Her dedication to educating and bringing the community together here in Lowell is truly impressive. And I'm sorry that you can't say a few words, Bori, but your work is so appreciated, and your consistency and dedication is truly awe-inspiring. So thank you so much.
Hey, Bori.
The next award that we're presenting tonight is the Pandemic Resiliency Award. Obviously, this is the first year this is being presented. And this is going to Narong Hull, the producer and host of Khmer Talk. After COVID-19 forced us to close our doors back in the spring, Narong was the first producer on Channel 95 to take advantage of Zoom as a way of continuing to do his show live from the safety of home. Since then, he continues to be one of our most consistent live hosts during the pandemic, illuminating and educating his audience in English and Khmer on meditation, vice and virtue, and many other topics. And I do just want to extend a personal thank you to Narong and to Bori. I started working at LTC this year, as Wendy noted, just about a week before we had to shut down. Obviously a difficult time to learn a new job. And I feel really fortunate that two of the producers I've worked most consistently with display such kindness and generosity of spirit, not just to me, but to everybody that they work with and to the community here at LTC and in Lowell. Narong, if you'd like to say a few words.
Greeting everyone, my name is Narong Hall. I'm a producer at LTC for 21 years. And recently, because of the pandemic, I have to stop my production for 3 months. And I would like to thank for the leadership, Wendy, Blom, that organized the meeting. And because of the meeting, we share and we exchange the opinion how to continue our operation. And at the end of the meeting, we come up with a new idea called the virtual show. I take that opportunity and volunteer the first one on the line. And it become successful. And I encourage everyone to do the same thing. And I would like to thank for our executive director, Wendy Blom, that she worked so hard to have our LTC running smooth, and I will miss her. And I wish the best for Wendy retirement. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Narong. Congratulations. Sabrina?
So last but not least is the Lifetime Achievement Award. So the Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Danielle McFadden. She's the president of the Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce. And since 2011, Danielle has served as the host of Chamber Chat, which is a local monthly television show that features the local businesses and organizations. And throughout the pandemic, Danielle has been dedicated to supporting our local economy. She proposed starting the Lowell Shopping Network, which is a cross-collaboration between LTC, the City of Lowell's Economic Office, the Lowell Plan, CTI's Entrepreneurship Center, and E4All. And the Lowell Shopping Network's mission is to really encourage us all to shop local during these challenging times. So thank you, Danielle, so much for all your contributions.
Thank you, everyone. I was so honored when I found out I was receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award, but now I'm in quite the conundrum. I'm too young to retire, so I'm not really sure where I should go from here. But in all seriousness, I've always been and always will be one of Lowell Telemedia's biggest cheerleaders. Local media is vital to a thriving community, and we are so lucky to have LTC in Lowell. Local media gives a voice to everyone in our community, a place to share news and information about Lowell, to tell the stories that make us unique. It allows us to view important meetings like the City Council and school committee meetings on a weekly basis, gives everyone the opportunity to be a content creator, which is so important these days. And from the Greater Lowell Chamber perspective, it's great exposure for local businesses and nonprofits. The team at LTC has always been phenomenal to work with, from helping the Chamber create a 20th anniversary video 5 years ago now, shout out to Steve Manick for that, to hosting events and seminars for us to collaborate with on social media trainings, and most recently, shameless plug for the Lowell Shopping Network that airs this weekend. So as I thank LTC for this honor, I really have to thank all of you, because I share this award with each and every one of you. And in closing, he has a timely quote from Millard Fuller that I feel sums up LTC's work to a T. For a community to be whole and healthy, it must be based on people's love and concern for each other. So thank you to everyone, and best of luck to Wendy. I wish you decades of enjoyment in retirement, and know that Lowell will really miss you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, and congratulations. Michael, do you want to adjourn the meeting?
Sure, Wendy, thank you very much. It was great to see everyone tonight. So we're officially adjourned, rather, and have a great night, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Samita.
Bye bye. Good night, everyone. Have a safe Thanksgiving. Bye bye.
Bye, Dan.
Bye.